Hi there. Hope you're doing good. So we are in the track number 5 of this Python for Engineering and Analytics playlist, and I have come up with some interesting topic for this track, which is purely covering the streaming data. How do we basically code for a streaming data, and along with that, how do we extract and transform the data and persist them on the disk. So that's what we are going to cover in this track. Just to keep you posted, we have done something similar in the last session, which is nothing but the last track number 4, where we have seen how do we transform, extract, and save the data of real time, of a type of real time data. So for that, what we basically did is for every 30 seconds, we have had our pipeline running to extract the data, to transform the data, and save it in a flat file. That's what we did in track number 4. But this is streaming data. It is slightly something different from what we have done in track 4. But what is something different is this is not something that runs for every 30 seconds or for every 10 seconds that we're going to configure. Instead, as soon as you see some data updated in the source, you have your code automatically picking those changes and downloading them for you through the code. That's what is called streaming data. And streaming data is most powerful and important for the real-time data analytics, actually. So it's near real-time analytics, I should call. But the other one, which is real-time analytics track that we have done in track 4, it is called as, periodical real-time activities. Okay, so this streaming data is more important when you are getting the logs from the public portals. As soon as the log is made available, you wanted to get the log and you wanted to continuously hear if there is a new data in the source, and then automatically you see a new data, pull the data and put it onto your system or wherever you want it to. So those kind of streaming data would basically fit in. Okay, because I cannot basically take any production or some examples for you, but I have come up with a very common example, which is Twitter example. So I am sure the Twitter API is one of the friendly APIs that I would ever worked upon when it comes to the public data. And I would basically take the Twitter as an example for this session, and I'm going to show you how do I continuously hear for certain hashtags that I'm really interested in, and then download the data, extract the data, and save it continuously on my system. This is streaming. That means I'm not going to schedule to run for every 10 seconds or 13 seconds. It will be continuously running on its own. As soon as there is a new tweet on the Twitter website, automatically I'm going to download that tweet and transform and save it for myself. So this is going to be little exciting because I'm not only going to show you how to code, I'm also going to prove it. Okay, so that's the interesting piece that you should be making a note of. So stay with me until the end of the track, because I'm also going to give you the exercises as I always give in every track, so that you can experiment yourself, take the code from the GitHub repo, and do all of the fun things that you can do with this code. Okay, so as a part of this, so let me take you to the code base. What is that we are going to do? We are going to create a Twitter account, but I do have, in case if you don't, please do go and create. To access Twitter account, you need 4 things. It is API key, secret, access token, and access token secret. From where do you get these access tokens? Definitely from developer.twitter.com website. So I'm going to show you that. Then we are going to see how is my authentication is going to work. Then we are going to also create a test example, so that you understand how does your API goes and search for a certain field that you want to search. And I'm also going to print the output for you, so that you actually see how is the output looking like, right, from the Twitter console. Then I'm going to tell you how to create an object, which is the class variables, so that it continuously hears. This is where the streaming comes in. Okay, so that it continuously hears for the pattern called 2 things which I have coded, called Python and OrSkl, and automatically it saves something as soon as it finds a tweet. It basically saves what I needed onto my system as a CSV file or pipe separated file. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Along with that, I'm also going to open my Twitter account, my personal Twitter account, and tweet something and come back to this console and see whether my tweet has come here automatically or not. So that way it is really exciting. Please stay until the end of this session so that you basically understand how the streaming data has been captured and stored, transformed onto my local system. Okay. So let's start off with that. So first of all, to do this, there is a Python friendly package already available. So just install this TweePy. If you don't have, you know how to install it. Just say pip3 install TweePy from this console called terminal. From this terminal, you will be able to install it. Or here, when you see a red underscore on your PyCharm, just hover on this, and then here you will have an install option. It will do the install option for you. Basically, I don't need import JSON. Sorry for that. I only use TweePy whole through this track, so I don't need JSON. Okay, coming back to my Python console here, and then let me show you my Twitter account. So I'm directly going into developer.twitter account because I have the Twitter account already. So once you log in here, so this is my account, and you have something called apps. Just go to the apps here. I already have some other APIs, but I'll create one app for this particular exercise. So you're basically doing this for academics and as a teaching, cool. So, or you can also do it for, I do it as a hobby, so I'll do it as hobby. So now click next, and then, this is my username. At the moment, I'm from actually India. What would you, okay, this account can be called as Twitter underscore OrSkl, practice. Okay. I don't want any product updates. Then next. Okay. I don't think describe this. I don't think for practice and test exercises for. Okay, so why don't I basically do this? You basically complete all of these steps because I wanted to save some time. I don't want to be lengthy. Please write up all of these things, and if you go to the next, you have review and you have terms to agree. And after you agree, you basically have the APIs that I'm going to show you like this. So this is the API that I have created. So if you click on this and then key tokens, you have these key tokens available for you, right? So just generate these key tokens as the steps that I have shown you, and then copy them to your system. So you need API key like this. Okay. So please do that exercise as I told you, but I have already generated one when I was doing my developments in the past. So I'm going to take it so that I can save the time on the screen. So these things I can't read it, so I have to regenerate the new set of access tokens so that I can copy. This is very, very secured. Please don't try to copy my access tokens because I'm going to erase them anyway after this session, so you will not find them. So I have my variables with API key, API secret that I've generated from developer.twitter.com. Okay, so the permissions are given read write for this access token. So all of that you basically create as I have shown in the previous step called create an app. Okay, so now you're good with creating tokens. Now let's see whether these tokens are working. So I'm importing my TweePy and I'm creating 4 variables called access token. You see here, access token secret, API key, and API secret. Now there is an OAuth handler under TweePy. So this OAuth handler requires 2 things, API key and API secret. I'm passing these 2 things to TweePy OAuth handler, and I'm calling it as auth. And to this auth, along with API key and secret, I should also pass access token and access secret with the help of set access token function inside this OAuth handler. So I'm also running this so that all the 4 different things are part of my auth variable. Okay. So once auth variable is given under the same TweePy package, you have another function object called API in uppercase that needs auth as an input. So I'm giving this auth as an input. Now you have an API object available for you. Now you will need to verify whether you are able to access to Twitter world using this API or not. So there is another function inside this API called verify credentials. So I'm saying try is nothing but to handle the exceptions in the command that you have. What I'm saying is, if you are able to verify successfully, then print this command. In case if this command throws any error, go to the exception block and print this. Okay, I'll show you how does it work. So now I'm selecting all of this, and if I'm returning, it's saying authentication okay. Now how do I verify whether it goes to exception block or not? I'll tell you. For example, I'm making one single change in my access token. Instead of uppercase M, I'm removing uppercase M. That's it. Okay. And I'm again reloading these variables, and I'm again reloading all of these variables. Now when I say try auth, it should fail because my access token is incorrect now. So now you see it has went to the exception block, not this. As soon as this failed, it came back to the exception and it printed this. That's why we use try and except. Try and except is to monitor, or is to basically handle the exceptions that you want to when you are running some command. Okay. So I'm coming back to this access token, change it back, the uppercase M that I removed, and I'm rerunning all of this in one single go. Select and command return will give you authentication okay. So my access to the Twitter world is ready. So all of that is good. So API is the object that I have, and auth is another object that I have. So all good. So you have, this is a search. This is where whenever you say search, it will go and search from this server. Cool. Now let me see what are the latest 100 tweets available with a pattern called Python, in the Twitter. So let me basically run this. So inside the API that we have basically created now, there is a function called search. So if you go and search with the word Python and under the English language only, give me top latest 100 tweets. That's what it means. Now, if I create only this tweet object, you go to the right hand panel here, special variables. You go to the tweet here. So you see there are array of 100 elements. Each element has got a key value, key in it, value in it. We need username of it. Okay, who posted the tweet? So under user there is something called name, like this, Mr. Data Scientist. Somebody has name called Mr. Data Scientist has posted something on Python. Okay, so I wanted to show the name, so I am basically calling it name. And how many retweets happened for the tweet that he basically posted? So I have something called, not under user, but under the same array, I have something called retweet count. There are 2 retweets. Okay, I'm calling it retweets. When was it created? When was the tweet created? I have it here called created at. Where is that? On the top. Yeah, created at. So I want to know at what date and timestamp this tweet was created. And what was the tweet, right? What is the text, actual tweet? So there is something called text here. If you click on view, you see this is what he tweeted. Okay. So coming back, and then what is the source of tweet? That means somebody can tweet from the mobile phone, somebody can tweet from web page, somebody can tweet from iPad, etc. So if that's the case, from which source he has tweeted? It says data NVS. That means it's an automated system or something else. So I wanted to print for all the top 100 tweets that I have inside this block. I just basically wanted to print them with a pipe separator for all of these 5 variables. Okay. So now I can run this for loop. For each tweet that is there inside this tweet, I'm going to get this output. Okay. Instead of me telling this, probably I can call it as tweets, and I can call this tweets inside this. Okay, instead of me doing that. So this way is also fine for me. So now let's see this. See, I have top 100, latest 100. This is the user. This is what he tweeted. This is when it was created. This is when it was created, and these many retweets happened. And this is a source from where he tweeted. There are few tweets from Android, there are few tweets from web app, there are few tweets from iPhone, etc., etc. See how cool is it? So we have top 100 here. All right, this is only to help you understand. See how am I able to see the top latest? It's not top, I'm sorry, the latest 100 tweets from the site. Now let's automate this. I just don't want to see the top 100. But instead, I want continuously, as soon as there is a tweet on the name of either Python or OrSkl, it has to basically extract that information in the same Python separated, it should store in the file. That's my requirement. So I'm creating my own class object. Please refer to this documents in case if you did not practice the classes that I have shared in track number 1 introduction. Okay, so I'm inheriting another class. Okay, class inheritance is also something that we have covered in track 1. That means all the objects that are available inside this class will also be now part of OrSkl stream class. Whenever I load OrSkl stream class, the API that I have created on the top will be the input for this class. Okay, and then it will create two objects inside the class object, because I have did initialization. So whenever I call this object outside the class, this initialization will run, right? And then these objects will be created inside this class variable. And whenever this is the function which is defaultly available inside this stream listener, whenever there is a status of the tweet, I'm saying extract username, retweet count, created it, and text and source, and also print it on the screen and also write it in a file for me. Okay, so this is what my class object is. Why am I creating this class object for me? Because I wanted a continuous object that should keep listening to Twitter, and as soon as there is a tweet in the Twitter, it should do this job for me. That's why stream listener is the main important object for continuously doing the streaming data pulling. Now once this object is created, now I'm calling this object OrSkl stream. I'm passing API as an input. This API is nothing but the one that we have created in line number 17. Okay, after I pass this API, now TweePy has also got another object called stream. So for this stream, it needs listener, it also needs authentication that we have created. So both of them I'm passing it. I'm creating another object called stream. Now this is when you're actually running your config. With this, what you're saying is run this class object whenever you see a pattern called Python and OrSkl on your data. So you have a listener hearing, you have a stream that basically passes the authentication also to the listener. Whenever there is something available on the Twitter, it passes the authentication, and using that authentication, it will make sure that if these two things are available, pull them. And what does it do after pulling? It will write into the file. That's what I coded myself. Now as soon as I run this, see the beauty, this cursor doesn't return. See, now it found one tweet. Now I'm not doing anything. Let's see how many guys are basically tweeting with the name Python. Okay, so far only one. I'm not doing anything. Just let me expand this. Okay, Python is most widely used, at least a word in a tweet is what my assumption. So that's why I have used this. So far one. See another one. Somebody called PyCon CZ has tweeted, with the Python in it, and I have extracted the information. Somebody, third one, fourth one, fifth one. See, I'm not doing anything. As soon as there is a tweet on Twitter with the name Python in it, it is coming in. And it will also do the job if there is OrSkl in it. Okay. Now I have told it to write it to a flat file, right? Though I am printing it, I'm asking it to write it in a flat file. Is the flat file available? It should be available in this directory only. So let me synchronize this. Yes. See, if I double click, see all the tweets are here. Great, right? And this continuously is hearing on it. There is nothing that it is stopping. Now let me check. Okay. I'll go here and I'll just tweet, OrSkl, are there any new updates? Okay. If I tweet this, let me see if it comes here. Great. See, on my name, Pawan Yaddanapudi, tweet, OrSkl, are there any new updates? What time? It is from the Twitter web application I have tweeted. See the beauty of it? Is it available in the CSV also? Yes, obviously. See, this is what, building up a streaming application. That means as soon as something is available on the source, your code should trigger. To make that, working, that's the reason we created the class objects like this, so that the class objects can be triggered multiple times, and each class object variables are within that class object, so that everything will run on its own. Okay, and this will keep running until I say close. You can also run this from the application, right? And that is what we know, Python 3 and then file name ampersand. It will be running in the background, and you can tweet and you can verify. I think that's what we did now. I'm happy that I can close this out, and because this is just a test tweet, I wanted to delete this. Cool. All right, so that's how it is. So this tweets.extract.csv is also C extracted. If I keep this running, I have all the Python related tweets from the Twitter on my local desktop, right? If you can afford it, you can definitely do it. But it purely depends on what kind of API you have requested from the developer.api. Okay. So yeah, that is it. So I have the exercise coming up for you. So I just did a real time, right? As soon as something is available, start hearing. Now the exercise for you, whenever you see a hashtag called machine learning, can you download all the tweets from January 2020 21st until today? So if I have to give this exercise, how do you code? Where do you code? The hint is nothing but go and try to basically analyze what are the available options inside this search. So if you click on this search, it will take you to the source, right? After you have to basically press your command button on my Mac, and you see this, where is the source? If you click on that, it will take you to the source. And with all the options that you have in the source, can you basically try and get this exercise solved? And you can also Google it, right? And extract all the URLs from the tweets. Only URLs if I have to extract from the tweet. How do I do it? Okay, these are the two exercises that I have for you. All right, so I think this is what is called streaming data, guys. So very important difference between real-time data and streaming data is streaming is nothing but as soon as the data is made available on the source, you're basically pulling it. So to do that, you need listeners. That's what we have available in the TweePy package, right? Similarly, real-time data is nothing but you can basically compromise, right? For every 10 seconds you go get the data, even that is fine. That is called near real-time data. Okay, so the architecture of real-time data is basically on scheduling, and the architecture of the streaming data is purely on configuring a listener so that the source supports. Okay, so you will see streaming data more on the big data environments, and real-time data on mix of big data and conventional systems that we have in the past, all of this. Okay, so that is it. Hope you have liked this session. Please subscribe, and also click on the bell icon to get the updates. And please share this importantly to somebody who wants to learn Python so that they can quickly ramp up with the real-time sessions that I'm trying to help you guys out. Okay, and again, last but not the least, the code is always available on the GitHub, and the link is always there in the description. Please go to the GitHub location, download the code, verify, fork it, download it, do all the changes, exercises that you want to do, play and learn. If you don't replicate and play with it, you are not going to learn, right? I believe in that. All right. Thank you, guys. See you in the next track. Bye-bye.